Hey Rogues, how is everybody? Hi Lord Portico, hi Adventures of Tony, hi Shadows of Life! It is good to see you all. Thank you for joining me on a Monday evening. Well, Monday evening my time. I don't remember where everybody is. I know some of you it's not quite evening yet, and I think some of you it might be Tuesday. I'm not sure, but welcome regardless. Yeah, I'm back again. We're gonna play some more Psychonauts, pick up where I abruptly ended last week, which is, I think we just finished defeating the lungfish. And I don't know what comes next, so we'll find out. Last meeting of the day. Oh, I'm sorry, Tony. But also, last one, hooray! But also, I'm sorry that you have a meeting. If anybody has not seen, at the end of stream today, we will find somewhere to go because our normal raid will not be possible since the Streampunks have had to postpone their game tonight. So, we'll find someone to say hello to at the end of my stream. Yeah. I don't know. It was a weird day. I was back at work because it's, it was Monday for me. And I wasn't off that long. It was the weekend. And I had taken Friday off. But it was, back there trying to get organized for the week. I overslept. So that put me on a wrong footing right off. And, I basically was able to catch up and it wasn't a big deal. It was just starts off my day wrong. And then shortly before stream started, I see a tweet from Minnesota Public Radio News reminding me, because I had totally not remembered, that 15 years ago was when the Interstate 35W bridge collapsed. And so then I was thinking about that day because I worked at a bank at the time. I was a bank teller, essentially. Technically, I think my job title was stage manager, but by that point I was regularly doing the business teller line and had the vault. And that day, 2 branches in Minneapolis lost power, and we were one of them. So it happened right around closing time, and the first of the month was always super busy because we lived in a community that had a lot of Somali and Ethiopian refugees, and so they got government assistance checks, and those checks were payable on the 1st. So they were all coming in to cash them, not to deposit them. It was always to cash them, which, if you know anything of the history of the banking industry in Somalia, you understand why, which is essentially that when the government collapsed in Somalia, the banks also collapsed and everybody lost their money. So they don't really trust banks. Or at least a large portion of the refugees from there don't trust banks. So the power went out, like, I don't know, we had maybe 10 people left in line, and we had to ask them to go to another branch or to come back the next day, because we just, at that point, we couldn't help them anymore. Stage manager I worked at a Wells Fargo, and so the Stagecoach is sort of the branding there. And stage manager was sort of like a Walmart greeter, but for the bank. And that was what I was originally hired as, because when I first moved to Minneapolis, I struggled to find a job at all. And so that was the job I was able to get. It paid the same as a teller, but it wasn't a teller, and it was over time that I gradually, like, I was trained as a teller, but my responsibilities were to be out in the lobby and greeting people and talking with them and being generally outgoing and bubbly, which not exactly my cup of tea, not what I wanted to do as a job. And then on top of that, the community I was interacting with, well, like, it depended on how new they were to the area, as well as, you know, social mores within their own culture, as to whether they were even receptive to me greeting them. But large portions of them were very nice about it and looked forward to saying hello to me, and that was great. But by this point in time, 15 years ago, August 1st, I was the business line teller. And so when businesses had large deposits, it was me. Except technically my job was still stage manager, and so I was still supposed to take every opportunity to get back out there in the lobby, which, anyway, I had many issues with my time as a teller or / stage manager at Wells Fargo. Not really ideal, and thankfully, one thing that was told to me when I was originally offered the position was true, which was that after about a year in the company, it was really easy to transfer to something else. And I moved into corporate HR and the corporate relocation department and was there for a number of years. That said, I never really meshed well with the company. Yes, what I'm saying is that capitalism continues to suck. And particularly what I was saying, never really meshed well with the company because the company was a bank. And so, as a poor person who has massive student loan debt, and yet had not completed a degree of any sort at that time, I struggled with the whole, capitalist. Yeah. And of course, the job of a bank teller is sales. Trying to get you to sign up for additional accounts. So, whatever. And then, of course, when I moved into corporate relocation, the people who get those kinds of benefits are the people who don't need them. And so it was really frustrating to me providing all of this, extra benefits for people who didn't need the money. So, yeah, that is part 2 of yesterday's talk. There is a fruit fly who's really... If he wasn't sitting on the camera, I would have already swatted him. But, yeah, Hannah, I was there working as a bank teller to the sales standards that Wells Fargo got in trouble for. I was a teller the year Wells Fargo got the year that Wells Fargo I was a teller for Wells Fargo during the year that they ultimately then got in trouble for the sales requirements that they had put onto tellers and bankers, that caused eventually some of them to sign people up for accounts without asking, and ultimately led to the resignation of the company's CEO / president. I don't remember what his actual title was, but I was there when those were the requirements, which is part of why I actually turned in my resignation about, I don't know, a quarter of a year before I had reached a year there. So about 3/4 of the year in, I turned in my resignation. And the district manager ultimately called me and it assured me that I could start applying for internal vacancies right away, and that I didn't need to wait out the entire year, which turned out to be false. That was a complete and total lie. I was not a happy person at that company. Anyway, captions are on. Yes, I can see them. Yeah, I was there in like 2006. But I believe that those sales things were definitely still happening in 2009-10. Hi, Detective Zen. Anyway, the whole point was not to get into Wells Fargo and their practices as a bank in the mid-2000s. The point was, 15 years ago, I was working at the closest Wells Fargo branch to the I-35W bridge when said bridge collapsed during construction on August 1st. And at the time, I was the vault. So I had to be there to double count everybody's money and verify all of their stuff. And then we did the vault. So I was like one of the very last people to get dismissed and get to go home. The reason that it was not standard procedure was when the bridge collapsed, it broke some power lines, and so we were one of 2 branches that lost power. When I left, I was walking distance to where I lived. I just had to walk across a footbridge over Interstate 94, and there was like haze, there was cement particulates and dust and whatnot in the air. And this was at least 3 hours after the collapse had happened when I finally got to leave, after we had done all of the no power shutdown procedures for the branch. And yeah, it was still this lingering haze in the air. Got back to the temporary apartment that we were living in at the time, because Philip was working as a resident advisor, or not a resident advisor, sorry, residence hall director. But he was going to be doing the brand new building that hadn't opened yet, but his replacement was already there in the building we had been living in. So we were in a temporary place in a different building. And I just remember going home, turning on the TV, watching on the news what was happening a few blocks away, and watching out my window, seeing the news helicopters flying around right outside my window. And then for the next year and a half, I think, I don't remember how long it took them to replace the bridge, but we got creative with our routes to get to the grocery store, because the grocery store we went to was across the bridge. Like, we drove across that bridge all the time. It was the route to get from where we were to where we went to the movies, where we went to go grocery shopping, where we went to, like, the shopping centers that were closest to us were across the bridge. And I don't remember what time Philip finished that night. Philip had been calling around, trying to reach students, assisting students whose parents were in the were on the bridge when it collapsed. Like, he was busy well into the night from it. Yeah. CEO became an internal vacancy. That was well after I was gone from the company, Zen. I mean, the CEO leaving was well after. That was, I want to say that was like, I don't remember when John Stumpf resigned. I want to say it was like 2017-ish. So I would have been here for 2 years by then. It was well after I was no longer with the company. No, Elixir. No power shutdown sequence does not involve taking money home. The hardest part of the no power shutdown sequence, the most tedious part, was counting all the money and documenting it properly. The hardest part was closing the safe deposit boxes because they were in a giant vault. And the normal procedure, like the giant vault door was an automated door that closed on its own. You pushed a button and it closed. There were written instructions, and the instructions amounted to just push the door closed, which didn't seem like it was complicated enough, so it was very confusing. But literally, that's all it was. It was just push the vault door closed. And once it was closed, it was locked, and there was nothing more to do, and it was done. But it was just like, this doesn't seem like it's enough. So it was honestly the hardest part because it was the most confusing. We did have at the our drive-up bank, like our drive-through stuff, was a tiny little building off the side of the building. So there was like a lane between where the drive-through tellers sat and where the main branch was. And the emergency lighting in the basement didn't work. So we were using cell phone flashlights to walk through the maze of unused space filled with old bank ledgers and random other unused file cabinets and things like that, that was in the basement to get over to the drive-up bank with the power out. That was interesting too. Anyway. This fruit fly is just really interested in all the electronics, and I don't know why. Last year, we did a drain treatment for the fruit flies, and it really helped out. And honestly, they didn't show up until really recently this year. I have more of the drain treatment on the way. So if you see me suddenly swat at the camera, I apologize. Anyway, let's see. Couldn't finish the count at the... No. Dog sitting at someone else's place. Yeah, I don't know if it was me or not. I didn't see anything except the posts in the chat. Yeah. Shadows. I get the joke. I get what you're saying, the heist basement, and it makes perfect sense, except that while I worked there during the year that I was a bank teller at that branch, we were robbed at gunpoint twice. One of them, and if you need to step away, please do. It'll just be a moment, and I will be done. I'll wave or something when we're done with it. We were robbed at gunpoint twice, and one of them was what was called a morning glory, and that was the people came up behind the openers. They had apparently observed the opening procedure for a couple of days, came up behind, shoved the gun in their back, and forced them inside, and then were making them get them money. And as part of that, they used packing tape to bind one of them downstairs in the basement. Actually, I think they bound both of them in the basement while they discussed whether to kill them or not. So when you say heist basement, that was what came to mind. And Crystal came back and eventually worked at our branch again. And after that, I actually opened with her a lot. Nicole wouldn't come back to our branch. She transferred to a different branch, and I totally understand that. So I know it wasn't what you intended. Also, for anybody who left, we're back. We're done with that topic. But yeah, I know that wasn't what you intended when you brought it up, but that was what came to mind for me. Yeah, that was an interesting group. We, like I said, we were located right next to the Somali and Ethiopian refugee apartment buildings, and which has nothing to do with the robberies that happened. But we were in an area, we were not too far from the University of Minnesota. So we had like your typical Norwegian descent, Scandinavian descent, Minnesota Americans who family had been there for generations. We had refugees from Africa who had literally just arrived. We had Hmong refugees. The Hmong is an ethnic group in China that has suffered persecution and there's a large percentage of Hmong people in St. Paul. But we had Hmong people nearby as well. We also had people from the local native tribes, as well as college students. So, and the thing is, they actually did make an effort to hire from the communities that were represented in the community. So we had a mix of most of those. As far as I know, we didn't have any indigenous folks that worked there. But the bank manager was Somali, and he used to call us the United Nations. We were the United Nations branch, even though we were just in Minnesota. It was an interesting time. That was where I was introduced to Ethiopian food, which is wonderful cuisine. Crystal, I used to go out with Crystal and Cassie and a couple of the other people from work, and we would go. There was a sushi restaurant that we went to a few times, and Crystal's husband was a professional football player in the Canadian American Football League. So football in the American sense, not the rest of the world sense. So not what Americans would call soccer. He was a professional American-style football player, but not in America, in Canada. Anyway, you weren't prepared with emergency monologue content warnings. I wasn't prepared with with knowing that this monologue was coming. Anyway, I think I should probably transition over to the game itself. If you all want to know more about what it was like being a bank teller at a branch that we called the United Nations, there are other countries that bother with American-style football, which I honestly didn't know until I heard from Crystal that her husband was a professional football player for a Canadian team. So I've never seen him play. The only thing that was good about working there was the people I worked with. The actual people that worked there were really nice and honestly broadened my horizons a lot, because I worked with a number of people who I still didn't hit the camera because I didn't want to. You have a couple of teams there, the London Kings. I am doing this. I'm distracting myself, but I'm doing it anyway. Prior to working there, I don't know. Now, I can't say that it had never happened, but I was not aware of ever having met anybody who was Muslim. But working there, I worked with, I'd say half the staff was Muslim. And then there was a large portion of... So Ethiopia has its own brand of Christianity that is similar in some ways to Catholicism, but also is not exactly like Catholicism. So we had people there, and so we had employees there who spoke Somali because we had a large portion of our customer base that only spoke Somali. We had people that both spoke or that spoke Amharic and Oromo, which are the two main languages in Ethiopia. And I honestly didn't really understand that those are basically two different ethnic groups in Ethiopia, and that there is, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with this lungfish after having beat him. He glows. Am I supposed to lift him? I'm trying to think what I was going to say, because I had a thing I was going to say, but I have already forgotten what it was. So occasionally there would be a customer who just did not want to work with one or the other of those groups, ethnic groups from Ethiopia. And we technically had the people that could accommodate that, but also we had Mame, where Mame was a supervisor or a banker, and she wouldn't put up with that shit. She'd be like, you can work with me or you can go. And it was pretty awesome. Of course it's buffering. Of course we went buffering because I actually switched over and started playing the game. So why wouldn't it? This is your brain on ADHD. Any questions? Yes, just here for coffee. Also, hi. I had to scroll back for that one. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Yes, while I was away, my game was automatically paused. So I can't go into the water because I'll get in trouble with the whatever's chasing me. I have defeated the lungfish, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do about having defeated the lungfish. Monday night stream, now with more buffering. I don't understand. I have done so much retail in my life, and I will tell you, retail at a bank is completely different than retail anywhere else. Retail banking is not like any other retail. I think one of the things I hated most about retail banking was having to wear a tie to work every day, despite being extraordinarily underpaid, like not well paid at all. Had to wear a tie to work every day. Thankfully, did not have to wear a jacket and tie every day, which meant that I usually went to work with a sweater and tie. And sometimes you couldn't even see the tie. I had it on because they would check. But sometimes you couldn't see the tie because it was completely covered by whatever sweater I was wearing. But once I switched and moved out of retail banking into corporate and corporate HR, I don't have to wear ties anymore. Oh, you can't see? It's not like I've gotten anything accomplished yet, but thank you for reminding me. I honestly have absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to do with this thing. Ooh, but you know what I can do? Bacon.
There's that smell again.
Pants were required, but... well, I don't remember. I'm sure, like, you had to have something covering below the waist. But whether pants were specifically required or if I could have worn like a kilt or a skirt, I'm uncertain. Basically, they wanted you in a suit, but you could get away with not wearing a blazer by wearing a sweater instead. Do you have any advice on the current situation? Hey, game, I need a hint.
Caller, do you have any advice on the current situation?
Take that little door you found in Sasha's lab and use it on the monster. We have to get in its head if we're gonna find out where it took the girl.
I would never have thought to do that.
Nothing more to report at this time.
Roll her out.
So I'm glad I realized that the bacon would help. When you worked places that required ties, you bought all kinds of fun ties that they would be annoyed at but could not actually complain about. Exactly. I sort of did that myself. I have way too many ties and I do not wear ties at all anymore. How do I... oh, it's the Y button. So I have a bunch of ties. I don't wear them. Honestly, at this point, I don't know that I would wear a tie even for a job interview at this point. At least within my industry. Professional nooses are dumb. So I don't want this to come off the wrong way, so I need to think before I say it.
Top of the morning to you, ma'am.
And good day to you, Officer Lungfish. How are you today?
Oh, damp and happy, can't complain. And what are you and the wee one up to on this?
That's a stereotype.
Oh, just obeying the law
The
as
Irish
always.
police
All
officer?
coastal directives followed to the letter.
Ah, good to hear. Not a one of us.
There's a reason it's a stereotype, but it is a stereotype. We are now a giant monster in a lungfish city? Multiple detectives then, because most of my ties I bought when I was pledging a music fraternity. And had to wear a tie as part of the pledge process. So I had a lot of music ties. But the... this is the old Godzilla game. Can I destroy the building? Please let me destroy the building. It's not the old Godzilla game, because if it was, I'd be able to, like, punch the building while I'm climbing it. So in the complaints about wearing ties, what I was going to say is, the main frustration with them was the requirement to wear them. And the fact that men's fashion, insofar as what is acceptable business wear, has not changed in like 100 years. There's variation on it, but it's essentially the same thing and has been for like the last 100 years, whereas women's fashion has evolved in various ways. That's not to say that that there are not problems with women's fashion. And I don't want to make light of the very real problems with women's fashion. All I'm trying to say by mentioning this is women have a lot more options as far as what types of attire are acceptable to wear in the workplace. I'm not sure. Yeah, there's just more variety. That's not to say that some workplaces don't have completely inappropriate standards there too. It's just
Excuse me. Were you talking to me?
men don't have as many options of variety of what's acceptable.
Are you okay?
He's dead.
Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
Don't worry. Every member of the resistance is prepared to die fighting the tyranny of
I completely understand the
He's a
problem
giant
with no
monster like you,
pockets.
Goggalor. He brainwashed and enslaved almost everyone
Goggalor?
in Fishopolis.
That stinks. So, hey, have you seen any other humans around here? I'm looking for a girl called Lily.
The government archives might have some information about your young girlfriend, Goggalor.
Yeah, I don't know if
Girlfriend?
she's really my girlfriend.
No.
I think she...
I only meant that she is your friend who was a girl, Goggalor. To access the archives, we must first destroy the broadcast tower Kochamara uses to control the populace.
Check. I'll go smash that then.
Wait, Goggalor. In order to reach the tower, you'll need to pass through that wall of lasers. But you'll never make it through the lasers without our help.
So are you gonna start helping soon?
First, I need you to do something for the Resistance. Punch a hole in that prison and free my comrades.
Okay. So yeah, I'm not in any way trying to like diminish the very real problems with women's attire and women's fashion and the historical issues involved there or anything like that. I'm just saying I would very much like to be able to wear things that have some style to them and wish that they were made available to me.
Fishopolis is under attack tonight by a hideous, gigantic monster the terrified citizens have named Goggalor. The Navy has responded quickly and decisively, dispatching its entire tank division to neutralize the creature. Soon, authorities say, everything will return to normal or better. Kidnapping human children is good.
This guy needs a duffel bag.
Half pockets are pockets that are too small to actually put anything useful in.
You're lucky we can't own guns, Goggalor.
Trogoggalor! Yes. Go for it, Elixir. Because, yeah, I fully support that conversation. I guess what I was trying to express mostly is I'm slightly jealous of the slightly more options that women have when it comes to what they can wear in the workplace. That's not to say, yeah, I should probably stop, but that's not to say that they don't have their own problems in that regard.
Freedom! Freedom!
Freedom!
Hoo-yah! Now, how about getting me past those gates?
Right. We stole the shield power module from Kochamara. It's too big for any of us to operate, but it should work for you.
Shield module. Elixir, I think I need to get you... I need to find you a cargo skirt or something. A cargo... I mean, cargo pants exist. You can get those on your own. But...
Hey,
I need to
is
get
this
you
gonna set
Elixir's
Kochamara and all your little
skirt.
brainwashed neighbors?
No!
I doubt it.
No.
So, knocking down the prison and then breaking this laser shield thing, nobody's gonna get mad about that and start shooting at me.
No!
Maybe one guy would.
But what is even an entire navy of lungfish against the might and revolutionary zeal of Goggalor?
Wait, what maybe?
Meet us at the dam, Goggalor. for freedom!
I have missed something, and I must scroll back. Men's fashion, yes. You find men's fashion boring. Yes, men's fashion is extraordinarily boring. I guess that is sort of the point I was trying to make. Men's fashion has not evolved. The difference between a men's suit in the early 20th century and today is the width of the lapel. But there are actual, like, artistic movements you can see in women's fashion. And they're sort of all acceptable to wear right now. Yeah. A skirt that has nothing but pockets. But yeah, Elixir, I need to get you a skirt that is Elixir's skirt. Which is, at least in my mind, just a piece of clothing that exists for no other purpose than to carry as many things as possible. Oops, all pockets. Use your psychic shield to protect you from damage and reflect some enemy attacks back at the attacker. Note, you will not be able to maintain a psychic shield forever. And when this part of your mind is exhausted, you will need to wait a while before you use it again. Right. Psychic shield. Smash jail and free dissidents. I think I smashed dissidents and destroyed the jail. A utilikit. Mara's skirt. Sorry, yes, that is what I meant. Arr. Trogdor. Oh, it's not Trogdor. It's Goggalor. Goggalor. I want to rampage this building. Okay. I need to set up that ability. Shield. Agents of.
I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work. I don't think that's gonna work.
It won't let me stay up on the ball?
I don't think that's gonna work.
Sadness. Skirt of holding. Yes.
Hey everyone! Here comes Coachella! No! Wait, it's Goggalor. Run!
How rude. I am going to smoosh all the lungfishes.
Don't hurt him!
I wonder if there will be some sort of achievement for stepping on all these people. I don't think I'm supposed to, but I'm doing it anyway. No! They're getting away! Ooh! Hannah, thank you so much for the chai! And apparently it gives a I think we discovered this on Liz's stream, that it shows a percentage of how much of the goal is complete now. Psychonauting the countryside. Psychonauting the peasants. Psychonauting all the people in their timeshare condominiums.
I love you, Goggalor. Good lord! He's impervious to bullets and love.
And love. Pyrokinesis upgrade at rank 45. This is kind of cathartic, I guess. Just smash all the things. Hello, tanks. Pick up tank? Oh. But I smashed them all, so I can't pick it up. Because it's not there to be picked up anymore, because it is smashed. That is where I'm supposed to have the shield. Steampunks meets Firefly pants. That's no jacket, right? Yeah. Little lungfish. I'm going to smash you all! Smoosh, smash, smosh. Smosh? Smosh? I have not actually watched Smosh. I hear it is good. Mostly from people who are fans of it. So
Well, things have gotten a little embarrassing for Gagalore. Recently surfaced information has strongly linked the previously intimidating monster with common low-life criminals. Earlier tonight, Gagalore broke some of his jailhouse cronies out of the slammer so they could enjoy a night on the town, popping pills and soliciting inexpensive call girls. Well, they're in for one nasty hangover.
what?
Our beloved Navy has come up with a high-tech new invention. Trucks armed with hyper-electricity. Kidnapping children do not harm the brains.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Something about call girls and kidnapping children. This was not the narrative I was expecting. Luggage tag! Let's deal with some emotional baggage. But first... Stop shooting me! Psi power upgrade earned! Thermal detonation! Use your pyrokinesis power... Oops, I can't even read the words that are on the screen, I apologize. Psi power upgrade earned! Thermal detonation! Your pyrokinesis power will now invoke a massive explosion around the target, setting fire to anything nearby. I'm going back to unpack some emotional baggage. Daleks?
This guy needs a duffel bag tag.
Wait, but
This guy needs a duffel bag tag.
where is the duffel bag tag then? Must find duffel bag tag. Duffel tag? Duffel tag? Hello, duffel tag. Oh, where has my duffel tag gone? I don't know. I don't see it. I thought that was gonna be the luggage tag, but it apparently wasn't. Wait, what's happening with Spider-Man? I don't know. I'm lost.
I love you, Gagalore.
Sorry I smooshed you, person who loved me. Pick up tank. Where is tank? Pick up tank. Pick up tank. I have the tank. Ow. Tanks a million. I don't know why I'm carrying this tank around, but I love it. Picture Spider-Man while J. Jonah. J. Jonah Jameson. I mean, I'm sure we can modulate our expectations of the mods on Monday, right? I'm carrying the... Oh, I was carrying the tank. I couldn't figure out how to put the tank down. Apparently, I just needed to start climbing a building. Sorry, I smashed you. Person who loved me, one of the rejected Hallmark cards. I don't know, I'm pretty sure they made that one. Ow! Where are you?
The destruction and terror continue as the hulking, godless child beast carves a bloody swath through our helpless city. Our noble, all-volunteer Navy has been surprised only by the senseless lust for mayhem that seeps from the twisted black lump of a heart in this creature, still known only as Goggalor.
Goggalor!
With violence in all its forms, the Navy has no choice but to activate its anti-monster turrets, which it guarantees are 100% monster-proof, not get caught stealing children.
Do not get caught stealing children. What was that? How do I defeat that? That was unexpected. We gonna smash that. I'm going to smash your turrets. Oh, but what if I want to? It's so much fun.
Goggalor, what are you doing down here?
We're trying to get to that Kochamara Tower thing so I can smash it.
The laser tunnel, Goggalor. We have to get through that or we'll never get to Kochamara Island.
But I thought...
There is no I, T, Goggalor.
Yeah, but there's an I in Squish, so watch it. I'll go take out your laser tunnel, but then we're gonna talk about who's running this revolution.
Oh, I can't squish him. Free the blimp pilot from his prison? Find a way to get through the laser shield tunnel protecting the prison. Ow! Must you? I am unhappy with your performance. Go home and have a thought about what you're doing. What was the ding? I heard a ding. What was the ding about? Ding ding things. I do see the thing, Portico. I will endeavor to make that a thing that happens shortly. There we go. I was like, how do I make myself spin very... I missed the helicopter. Yes, I said helicopter. Brains. How do I get up there? I think I have to get those from above somehow, but I don't know for certain. Ooh, can I go this way? Can I? Can I? No.
I don't want to complain, but Kochamara should do something. Holy smokes! Those goggles are 5,000 meters tall.
Is that why they call me Goggalor? Because I've got the goggles on? I will do the hydrate and the whatnot. The thing that's not the ding that needs to be a thing. Hydrating. Stretching. Hulking godless child beast. Ooh, thank you, Portico. All right, I'm gonna do the spinny spin, jumpy jump one more time, trying to get this helicopter. But if I don't get it this time, then, you know, we'll move on. Dang it. Oh, I have the thing that does this thing. Cobweb duster! Yum. Stop that! No! I say no missiles! Must you? That is just rude! How rude! Okay, look. Ah! Farkle! I am going to dine on you, and you're going to die. Oh, that would be the lasers. How do I know when they're gonna go? That was it? I just had to get it once? Okay. I'm dead. But I shouldn't be dead. Didn't I have candy? I must not have had any candy left. I don't know where I am. Oh, I need to go through the laser tunnel though. I did die. I indeed did die. Deadening. That was actually hard to say. No! I say no. I say no. I say no. 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 What did I say? I said no. I said that is unacceptable. Duffel bag tag! We're gonna go take care of a little bit of emotional baggage. Now I'm able to knock over the trees. I don't know why I couldn't knock down the trees before.
Natural History Museum.
Aw. Speaking of the Natural History Museum, I saw Jurassic World Dominion last night, and I actually thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a very satisfying ending to the series. We did not go to the theater. I know it's in theaters right now, but it was also available to get on iTunes, and I already had the other 5 movies on iTunes, so I got it there and we watched it.
I don't want to complain, but Coach Chalmers should do something.
It was very much a, like, monster action movie. Which I'm sure was pretty awesome for, like, Bryce Dallas Howard to get to be, like, an action star. Because, yeah, the people from the first movie, there were a lot of people that came back. Like, original cast people. And it was really good. I won't tell you that you need to catch up on them. I will just say I enjoy the franchise. The only people that I think need to catch up on the Jurassic Park films are TT Games, the makers of the Lego video games. They need to catch up on Jurassic Park. Lungfishopolis under siege. Happy lungfish underwater. A strange bug-like creature flying above. It is very large. This is not what I was expecting from this. Is it making them work? It's on the television. Apparently lungfish are unhappy, and there's like a, you know, possibly a rebellion, or I'm not sure. That was not Laura Dern. Thank you. That is the Hey, look. Detective Zen was asking about I remembered Laura Dern's name last night while I was watching the movie, but I couldn't remember it now. Laura Dern actually got to be like an action star for part of this movie. I'm not going to say why, I'm not going to say what happens, but it was pretty awesome seeing her do action sequences as her character from Jurassic Park. And I actually really liked, there was an additional person, brand new in this movie, whose character I thought was amazing. Just really good. I enjoyed it.
Freedom!
Freedom!
Freedom! Freedom! So, this big monster, is that the best you could do?
We were short on time, and he is good at smashing things.
Doesn't look like much to me. Come on, let's blow this joint.
Hey, you're welcome.
Sorry about him, Gargalor. He's been in prison a long time. He's the only pilot the Resistance has, and he has an excellent plan. Meet us at the dam so we can put it into action.
Damn. But yeah, I think, I had no idea what his name was. Honestly, that you putting his name in there is the only reason I know what his name is. I knew Laura Dern's name. I just had forgotten it tonight. But yeah, I didn't know Sam Neill's name. So,
Hey everyone! Here comes Kochamara! No, wait, it's Skogor. Bullets don't hurt him!
So Lego Jurassic World was released after the fourth movie. And it was an excellent video game, one of my favorite video games ever. I have fully 100%ed it twice. But now there have been two more movies, and Lego needs to do an update that adds the other two movies.
Then we spread them all over town with my blimp.
Winning over the hearts
Flyers?
and minds of Lungfishopolis in as soon as 6 months.
That's your plan?
6 months.
Flyers?
You don't like our plan, you can come up with another one.
How about we smash
We're
everything?
busy. We have to select card stock and then find a decent but inexpensive printer within a week.
I want to go smash all of the printers.
Hey, what are you doing up there?
I don't think that's gonna work. Yep.
Oh, a hat trick. I will do a hat trick.
We don't have a
Woo!
replacement blimp, you know.
That was awesome. Let me back down though. How do I let go? SR2 hat. I will do so. So they just did. So Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is the best Lego game ever. I started playing it as soon as it came out, and I 100%ed it, except Steam doesn't show 100% because there was an achievement that wasn't triggering properly, and I just haven't gone back in. They've released a couple free DLC items since I last played it. So I'll go back eventually, but also I'm going to do the hat trick now. Thank you for the hat trick redeem, Shadows of Life. So the part of the reason why I'm going to switch back to the game and talk while I do that. Lego does make some very good games. Part of the reason that I really want Lego to go back and do an updated Jurassic World game is that they did that with Star Wars multiple times. Because they released Star Wars, the original trilogy. They released Star Wars with the prequel trilogy. They released at least 3 or 4 versions of Star Wars before finally releasing Star Wars The Skywalker Saga that includes all 9 movies. So the fact that they did Jurassic World with just the first 4 movies is fine. It was an excellent game. It was one of their best ever. And they totally should go back and do one that does all 6 movies, because it will also be excellent. It will make tons of money, and it'll just be like the new best Lego game ever. Plus, Jurassic World is just a good property that I want a full. I'm gonna save first. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save first before I do the bad idea. Now I'm gonna do the bad idea, which and I do think that we are back now. As always, no thank you to my internet service preventer, but thank you to Hannah for the graphic. So yeah, Star Trek has never been licensed to Lego in any way, so they've never made an official like Star Trek Lego set of any type. And they only make games out of properties that they have sets for. So they've not done that. They definitely should. But so far, like, there are fan builds. There are people who have just, they like Star Trek, they like Legos, and they made their own builds of like Star Trek ships. And so you can find pictures of those online, and like Lego minifigs of Star Trek characters. I've seen those, but those have all been basically people got minifigs and painted them or altered them so that they would be Star Trek characters. Yeah, and Playmobil has the rights, which does not make sense. Like, honestly, does not make sense. Star Trek always sort of had an older audience. And so the fact that it's Playmobil and not Lego, and Lego is very much a toy line that markets as good for all ages, where Playmobil is very much a kid's toy line. So I just don't understand, like, why Playmobil was the choice for Star Trek. It doesn't make sense. Lego Starship Troopers, That would be interesting. I don't know that it... I'd rather do Stargate or Battlestar Galactica or something than Starship Troopers. That would just be a lot of like giant bug sets, and I don't really want that. I'd rather have dinosaurs. Lego Stargate would be pretty cool. I did see the information about a potential 4th official Stargate series, which would be interesting. I would be very much open to that. So Universe was weird. The Universe had problems, but one of those problems was that they just never fully committed to it, and so it suffered. And I think part of the problem with Universe is they were too tentative with it after having experienced the cancellation of Atlantis. Because Universe could have been so much better than it was. $2,000 piece GCD? What's the GCD? I'm not placing the term or the abbreviation, which is entirely the fault of me being very distracted, streaming, playing a game, and chatting at the same time. The only 3-letter abbreviation in my brain right now is DHD. So. Oh, yeah, DHD, dial home device. It's literally DHD, dial home device. Not even like a technical description, a very functional, matter-of-fact description. I mean, I just want a life-size Stargate model. Give me a set to build a life-size Stargate, please. That's what I wish. I think I was supposed to probably shoot those instead of like jumping on the ships. What? How did you? No, you don't. I beg to differ. We're jumping on this boat again. You die, boat cannon thing. Ah! I made it! I didn't get dragged under by the sharp lapels of my checkered coat. What was this place called? Skyscraper City or something? This part of the map? It's not going to tell me, but reach Skyscraper Island. Too many acronyms. I mean, I don't know what your profession is, but as a person with a library science degree, too many acronyms is just a career hazard.
I think that's gonna work.
Like, too many acronyms is like the name of the business. Too many acronyms. Come on, you can be higher. Yes. I said you can be higher, but I was thinking the Depeche Mode lyric, you should be higher. Oh dear. I appear to be stuck between... I think maybe I wasn't supposed to be there. MLIS. DFTBA. TLA's FTW. Was the island named after the tall buildings, or was Skyscraper Island a coincidence? Maybe skyscrapers were named after the buildings on the island in this lungfish's head. I am completely stuck. This is a problem. Will I still be stuck if I save and... All right, I'm going to save, but I'm going to save to a different slot so I can always reload that one if I need to. Because there's not like a stuck mechanic that I'm aware of. I'm going to load the one that I just saved. Oh! I'm not stuck anymore. Which was the whole point of what I just did. So I would say it worked, but also now I'm being shot at. And I can't read all these lovely acronyms like GDPR, CCPA, ECPA, FERPA, HIPAA, GLBA. Named after the legendary hero Luke Skyscraper. Excellent. NBD. Acronyms, easy as ABC. Isn't there a US version of GDPR that is a thing that someone has proposed? I thought I saw something about that recently. ACPPA. I just know that I've seen a lot of stuff lately about you know, now when you go to a website, it's impossible to actually access the website until you look at the listing of cookies and take a moment to tell it whether or not you're okay with it using all of the cookies. So basically, starting out by, hi Caden, welcome, thank you so much for the raid. Visiting a website is basically starting out by looking at their listing of cookies, saying, I don't want you to track me at all, and then accepting the fact that they're going to ignore what you said and track you anyway if you want to use their website. Because while those rules are in place and ostensibly, you know, websites have been required to show that they are in compliance, and so they've all added those things, they actually, enforcement is very minimal. There's not a lot of teeth to the enforcement of GDPR with regard to that aspect of it. So those don't track me, I reject all the cookies things are mostly for show. And so I've been seeing articles about like people are trying to address that and actually give teeth to a law like that. And one of those had mentioned the American version of that. Oh, thanks, Caden. It was a lot of work, and it's a coffee table book with photographs mostly, and then some short descriptions of those photographs, because like text-based histories of the institution have been done multiple times, and so ours is like an image-based coffee table book, which was what we wanted to go for. So it took a long time and a lot of work, and I'm very happy that it is done. It doesn't help that we started it in like 2019 and then the world happened. either CCPA or for California or the EU's e-privacy directive. Yeah. Okay, so I think it's the e-privacy directive, but anyway, the actual like implementation of it on websites is mostly for show and designed to annoy people who are visiting the websites. It's designed to make people mad that those things exist so that they will contact their lawmakers to make them not exist anymore. And companies will say, well, we can make them go away just by making it automatically accept any cookies that we want to use. What's really annoying is the ones that will list the thousands of cookies and not really give you a sense of what they're for, but also claim that they are required in order for the site to function and default you to automatically accept them. Yeah, it's a bit frustration. Sorry, I didn't know I was gonna do another rant. I apologize. It really is not malicious compliance. It's not. It feels like it. When I looked at the photographs, did they make me laugh? I don't believe so. I think they more made me scream. It's mostly just we don't have a better... Okay. That makes sense, I guess. They are very annoying. They are very frustrating. Some of them do it better than others. Like, some of them are not horrible in their compliance. Some of them have the, these are the functional cookies. These are the things that you absolutely need to have in order to make the site work. And those they default to on. And you can't turn them off because otherwise the site doesn't work. But then there are others. Yeah.
We're here with the star of the popular sitcom Trouble in the Bubble, Buddy Finn. Buddy, what's your take on the Goggalore situation? Is he just misunderstood? No way! I hate Goggalore. I can't imagine any one of my fans siding with the monster. He hates everything lungfish care about. Air, water, family, the economy. Buddy, you'll be happy to know that the Navy has decided to pull out what they're most famous for. Airplanes. So rest assured, we can all look forward to Goggalore.
Airplanes.
To seeing you, buddy, every Thursday night right here on LBC.
LBC? Lungfish Broadcasting Company or Corporation? I don't know which.
They should take them quickly under the lake to the abandoned insane asylum.
Goggalore, come in. We have commandeered these vessels in your name.
We can put them in position to help you cross Kochamara Channel to get to Kochamara Island and destroy Kochamara Tower.
The thing is that, although we have the utmost faith that you will soon contain the area, Goggalore, we
just think it best
we've decided to maintain our position out here.
just until you clear the area of all hostiles.
Yes.
For insurance reasons, Goggalore.
Yes, that, and for freedom.
Yeah, 2020 was not wonderful. Destroy all planes so the freighters can dock. Dock, dock, goose. Strangely enough, this is not a privacy symposium. This is week 7 of your class? Really? Honestly? Wow. For freedom! But no, not Aflac. Sorry. Hashtag not sponsored, therefore will not be advertising Aflac. If they want to sponsor me, I will have a duck show up on my stream. Cookies and the e-privacy directive. Cool. Yeah, it's something that I've read a bit about, and it's for me, none of the articles that I've read said it was malicious. It just really felt malicious to me. But it does make sense that they just don't know how to implement it because they don't know what cookies they're actually using, which is a problem in itself. But that goes with the companies don't want to spend money to actually create their own website, so they won't pay web developers, and they use all of these pre-made things, or like they don't know what's being implemented on their site. That makes sense. Hollow geese, yes please. One nice way to make it feel like they were trying to comply would be to not have to click Save My Preferences. Yeah. I think what I find most frustrating about it is that I know I've been to this site before. I know I have told you my preferences before. Why do I have to do it again? Like, I literally turned off all of them except for the ones required for the site to function. Why do I have to tell you that again? I want figments. Oh, we're back. I was about to, initiate a text-based version of The Girl from Ipanema featuring Astra Gilberto. But when I went to go and do that, suddenly the stream was here again, which I won't complain about because I'm glad that the stream came back. But in other news, you just wondered what the heck happened, and apparently your laptop battery has... Oh my god! Just here for coffee. That is really frightening. Was that something, like, did you know the battery was going, or is that heat related with the recent, like, weather, or like... My disapproval look? No, it is definitely not ideal. That is really scary. And something that I worry about all the time, every time I use my laptop. But, I know with the lithium ion batteries, heat can be something that makes them... Sorry, I've got these freaking fruit flies. Magic smoke pressure is at critical? Again? Sorry, I'm really annoyed at the stream instability. Yeah, it's not designed to do that, but I do know lithium-ion batteries, like those in laptops, can sometimes have that reaction when exposed to extreme temperatures. So it's a great thing that they're in devices all over the world, where the world is, and that the world is, getting substantially hotter all the time, everywhere. Psi Power upgrade earned. Wrecking Ball. Once you've earned this levitation power-up, your thought bubble becomes a deadly weapon at full speed. Well, that would be lovely if you would just let me use my levitation. Try smacking my ISP with a sweater. 6 years old. Yeah, it'd be great if it didn't die completely. Yeah. It should be. So I don't know where you're located. I don't know what options you have for repair. I would say if you are near an Apple store, the official Apple branded store, you should just be able to walk in and they should be able to put a new battery in it for you. It'll cost money, but that should be a possibility. If you're not near an officially branded Apple store, they now have licensed repair places that could do it for you, but my understanding of that process is that it will be substantially longer, because you arrange with them. They let Apple know, I'm repairing this thing. I need these parts. Apple sends a repair kit to them. Then they do the repair, because they're not allowed to keep the tools on site at the licensed repair facility. They have to let Apple know what repair they're doing, and Apple sends them a repair kit. That is my understanding of how that licensed repair facility process works. So I don't know if replacing a battery in a laptop falls under that, or whether that's something that you could just go to like an electronics store to do. So like here, my first spot, if I was dealing with the same issue, my first thing would be driving over to Best Buy to the Geek Squad and asking them, can you put a new battery in for me? And I know they can do Apple repairs. What I don't know is whether I don't know how quickly that repair would happen, replacing a battery. It's just I don't know, because I've not had to do it. But I hope that you're able to, and that it does not turn into a big thing or cost a lot of money. Lungfish and Lobato. Aw. Little fishy watching the television. You have places you could try. It's just getting there. I mean, getting there is, yeah, that's a whole different discussion. I worry because I know they can explode, and that's a very bad thing. Oh no. How did you catch the fishy in your net when it was in that nice little cozy den? Oh dear. Lobato. His name is Lobato. And the whole storyline of kids' brains being stolen. Lobato is performing lobotomies. So the lungfish was a regular fish-looking fish, and it became this after Lobato experimented on it. And then it sent I'm calling Lobato it. Then it sent the lungfish down into the waters. Thank you for the content warning. I just caught that his name was Lobato. I knew he was doing lobotomies, like I knew lobotomies were happening. Actually, I don't actually think they are lobotomies. I think they're lobectomies, but because he's actually removing the entire brain, so it's a double lobectomy, because he's removing both lobes of the brain, and the ectomy suffix implies the removal of. Lobotomy would be just like cutting a piece out, where lobectomy is removing like the entire lobe, if I'm remembering medical terminology correctly, which is an actual college course I took. That doesn't mean I remember it correctly, but I believe that is the distinction between an ectomy and an otomy, but you know, I could just be completely off base. I'm an archivist, not anybody who deals with medical terminology on a daily basis. Must kill planes. Rawr! Rawr! Die plane! Die plane! No! Die cut plane? Die cast plane. Die cast plane! I haven't heard anything more from Eagle Moss. I don't know what's happening. The wordplay doesn't work if they use lobectomy. Yeah. I don't remember if I talked about it on stream, but Eagle Moss, the makers of the official Star Trek Starships collection, as well as many, many other very high quality collectibles, they were based in the UK, and they laid off people as part of some sort of bankruptcy type thing in the UK. I don't remember the terminology for it, but basically somebody else is in charge and makes decisions about what is going to happen to the company and its assets. They had been in operation for like 50 years, and the day it was announced, Domo Gato, Dr. Lobato, oh gosh, Justy. What is the, I don't remember what the term is. But there's like there's somebody is appointed like, as an administrator for it to determine how it'll move forward. There's still the possibility that a company buys them and decides to continue the operation. Receivership, is that it? I don't think that's it. I don't think that's the term. You know, I'm gonna look. It didn't like, oh, was there a period? Did somebody get in trouble for something they posted? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think that was the term. It is, administration. They filed for administration in the UK. So I know, like, my last couple of issues of the Starships collection were unusual. They had reached out and said, hey, you know, there have been a number of challenges. We're going to send your next couple without the books. There was earlier, like during, I think it was during 2020, there was a period of time where they just, without even communicating, they just didn't send any at all, which was fine. And then they picked up again, and it was the regular, like 2 ships a month. And then they offered to do double the amount per month, so like 2 ships every 2 weeks. And I was like, I was already kind of thinking of maybe canceling this because it's an expense that I don't really need to have. And so I was like, nah, let's just stick with the regular once a month thing. And then they did, so like the last 3, I think, didn't have the booklets with them. It was just the ships. And then I see the announcement of they've gone into administration. Everybody's been laid off. And all of their websites, all emotional baggage sorted. All of their websites where you would normally sign up for like their subscription products and stuff, just have a sign up to be notified when this becomes available again. But I haven't heard any, like, I have never received an email or anything saying that the company had gone into administratorship. There's been no communication about any changes in how the
we're sorry to
subscription
report
service
that
will
the miserable,
operate.
Incompetent, lug-faced Navy is all but sunk. Great work, losers. Now, Kochemara himself will have to come all the way down here just to save our worthless hides. Authorities are calling for a big parade in Kochemara's honor after he clobbers the annoying giant Goggalor. And if the parade is big enough, Kochemara promises not to destroy the city. Brush teeth more often, don't do so much.
Gap the mind? Oh dear. What have I missed? You have multiple euphemisms. I mean, here we just call them like Chapter 8, Chapter 11, etc. As you climb the towers, note the time. Climbing towers is only permitted for an additional 15 minutes. 15 minutes remain for climbing towers. Mind the gap. Gap the mind. Yes. So I still have not had any communication from them about the status of the subscription, which I'm assuming I will not be receiving any more starships. But it would have been nice to have any sort of notification from the company that something was happening. But yeah, the day that they went into administration, the websites were updated to only allow for, like, they all say something about, like, this is sold out. Sign up to be notified when it's available again. Their Facebook page, which apparently they still had a Facebook page, disappeared. Their Twitter account was still there, but it hadn't posted in a long time. Hurry up, please, it's time. Yeah.
Hey everyone! Here comes Kochemara!
Oh, Kochemara must be that beetle thing? He's gonna be really small, isn't he? No, he's actually big. All right, we're going to pretend to know any sort of martial arts in a very early 2000s fashion.
Give up while you can, Goggalor.
Are you?
Kochemara does not speak giant monster boy language.
The only word you're gonna need is ouch.
Mighty Ram! Mighty Ram! Deadly Triangle Beam!
Gotta use those new abilities that I just received. Deadly Triangle Beam. Particle Man, Particle Man, Particle Man, Triangle Man. I don't know. I don't remember which.
Why don't I help you? Let it all out.
The Deadly Triangle Beam thing made me think of they might be giants.
Mighty Ram Grapple! Overly intricate combination! Hard to avoid area attack! Overly intricate combination! Hard to avoid
Punch him. Punch him. Punch him. Punch him. I wanted to destroy the city. Universe man. Size of the universe, the size of the entire universe, man. Oh dear. I should have actually, maybe paid attention to the fight. But, I was having fun. Two? I died twice today? We'll try one more time, but then we'll call it. That entire fight, I kept trying to ignore him and go destroy buildings. So maybe if I actually focus on the fight itself, the fight will go smoother.
Sasha showed you how to save up your aggressive energy, huh?
Oh, so you know who Sasha is.
Let it all out. Mighty round ground vision. Mighty round ground vision. Hard to avoid. Area attack.
We'll call it a walleye. That's what we'll call it. We'll call it a walleye.
Overly intricate combination. Hard to avoid. Area attack.
I may have won. Fruit flies. Must eliminate them.
People of Mudfish Opsis, I'm sorry I let you down.
Sorry, every time I look up the freaking camera, the fruit fly is on it.
Get ready for Goggle.
Yet somehow manages to avoid the lens. Which is... Apparently, I beat Kachamara.
Gargalor, you did it! You defeated Kochamara!
Yep. Now we can find out where Lily went.
Not yet. The tower is still broadcasting its mind control over the populace. You must destroy the tower.
Right. Man, Goggalor needs a sidekick. Or a PA or something.
Destroy. Destroy. Tower. Destroy. Destroy. Tower. But there's a whole city to destroy too! And like, I mean, thankfully, if I go a little bit longer tonight, it doesn't really matter because there's not somewhere that we need to get to. In case anybody who showed up a little bit later does not know, the regularly scheduled Amber Squad episode for tonight was postponed. So there is not a Streampunks item to go to. Unless that has changed and nobody has informed me. But last I heard, there was not going to be a thing. So I can't, I don't need to knock down all the trees. I really don't. I should just destroy the buildings. Let the trees alone. Just destroy the buildings, right? Yeah, it just said something about self-care and, you know, more power to them. I'm glad that they're taking care of themselves. They're not exactly trees. I mean, all of this is inside of the mind of the giant abused lungfish anyway. Climb every tower. Destroy the mind control. Free the lungfish people. From Kochamra's hold. I didn't know how I was going to finish that.
Control of this freaky toad. I don't need him to nab children for me anymore. I've got the brain of a little girl back in my lab that's strong enough to power a whole army of psychoblaster death tanks. Huh? What?
You've got the brain of a little girl.
I said in my lab.
I think you've got the muscles of a little girl, too.
Good one.
Yeah, it was very heterocentric, misogynistic, juvenile humor, but it's only
Who is that?
like common juvenile humor because it's taught.
Over here. Behind you. Yes.
Oh.
The creature whose spirit was once enslaved by the evil one. You have unchained my soul. And now I shall repay you, powerful human child.
Oh, great. Well, okay. Show me what you did to my friend Lily.
By the drowned spirit of Oblongata, it is done.
The drowned spirit of Oblongata? Show me what you did to Lily? Okay. Eats him. At the moment, I'm not really concerned with Coachella. A bit worried about, and throws him up.
When it is your wish to
A bit worried about people heading to the desert for Burning Man.
And summon me with that.
Thanks, hulking lungfish. You know, you really aren't as hideous as people say.
You may call me now by my true name, Rasputin. The name given to me by my people.
And what name is that, noble lake creature? What a magical lady.
Why did you suddenly assume the lungfish was a lady after they told you their name was Linda? Anyway, yeah, there are a number of threats to people heading to the desert for Burning Man. Among them, rampant COVID outbreaks and monkeypox everywhere now as well, with tons of messaging indicating that most people don't need to be concerned with it, except that they do because it's not a gay disease, even though the messaging has said it is. Anyway, sorry, I'm not going to go into that right now. I'm going to save the game. Because, oh boy, could I have an entire additional tirade, and we don't need that right now. Medulla be praised. We're gonna pop over to the little, like, yeah, that one, the credits. Yeah, that's what they're called. thank you all so much for joining me. I love this little, like, it's just a little spot where I have, like, a little red, like, sore right in the center of my forehead. Sorry. I had to point at it because it was there. That and, yeah, I mean, yeah. But I just never want to go anywhere at this point because nowhere is safe. Shadows are doing weird things. I'm distracting to myself at this point. Also, I had meant to mention it. This came in the mail. This was waiting for me when I got home today. This is the second edition of the Doctor Who role-playing game, the wonderful collector's edition version, and it is. I have not taken it out of the plastic yet, but I'm excited to have it, even though like the likelihood that I will ever play it is very, very small. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for joining me today for what was... the game itself was fun. The discussion going on alongside of it was convoluted, distractible, and, I thank you for sticking around through all of that. Let me see who we are going to raid. Also, I should say... thank you, first off, to my mods, and thank you to Was Not Worth It for being a subscriber over on Ko-fi, and as always, thank you to Bree, Meaning of Night, Sirius, and Hannah for the art that you have done for this channel. Very special Rage Symposium panel. Look up the TARDIS instruction manual on Amazon. I will have to do that. And, I'm just going to double check and see the entire listing of everyone that I follow that is currently streaming, just to see who we might want to pop in on and say hello. Yeah, no, we're going to do what I kind of expected we would do. And we're going to pop in on Painting Pirate. He's currently playing Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. And we just haven't said hello over there in a while. Painting Pirate is quite fun. Honestly, most of the time not video games. I think Monday might be the only time he actually does video games. The rest of the time it's mostly mini painting and whatnot. But it would be lovely if you all would join me for the raid, and when we get over there, if you want to drop the raid call in, it is there. If you have my emotes, you can go ahead and just copy and paste. If you don't, it's #RogueRaid with whatever hello emotes you might want to drop in there. I'll be live again next on Wednesday for Archival Adventures, and it'll be an interesting one. I think you should have, but now you definitely have. Next gaming stream is Saturday for Ultima 6, and then Sunday Mass Effect, and then back here next Monday at 7 p.m. we'll dive back into Lungfishopolis and see where we go from here. Thank you for the link. I will check that out after I finish, because otherwise I will get distracted and I'll be cut off by the raid timer, which has already started. Anyway, thank you once again, everybody, for joining me. I hope I see you again soon. Until I do, get out there and do some shenanigans, everybody.